Oh, just in time, David. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina. I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Help me welcome Gary of Twin Tarot and
Howdy.
Tarot by the Bay.
Just caught the bus just as it was leaving the station.
Yes, just jumped on right on time. So thank you, everyone, for being here with us. Welcome to Taco Tuesday, where we talk about things that are in the news and we talk about things in a very irreverent way in some ways. You know, we don't hold the snark back. So thank you. Thank you to all of you who are here, who are coming in. You're okay, David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally I join about 15 minutes early and we chit chat, and literally I wrapped up work just a little before 5. I went for a walk. I just sat down and ate dinner, and I was just cleaning up, and Gary called me and said, "Hey, are you joining the chat?" Look at my phone. I got 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I had mentioned to him, you know what? Let's just go. Oh,
who needs him?
Volume up?
He's just a third wheel to you two.
Okay, let me see. Somebody wants me to turn my volume up.
Yeah, you are a little low.
Am I? Okay. Well, I generally this is the level that I do the shows on. So I don't know. Maybe I changed something and didn't realize it.
Oh.
Carrie and I just talked loudly.
Yeah, or we just have our mics turned all the way up to 11.
Oh, could be. So, yeah, what I was telling Gary, I said, well, let's just you and I go on. And when David does finally join us, we can say, okay, folks, thank you. That's a show. Thanks for joining us.
Exactly. Good job. High fives all around.
Yeah. So, you guys have been busy. I'm getting a little bit of a feedback. Is it me or is it?
I'm not hearing it.
I'm not hearing it on me, but I hear it on yours.
On mine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like a slight echo.
Yeah. Okay. No, I've got everything turned off, turned down. Huh. Well, now. Yeah. Okay. Keaton Brown says, yeah, we are hearing it a bit. Okay. Well, hopefully.
Oh, maybe it's Meister.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, Libby's Meister is in the chat. He's in
the. Okay. No more feedback. Well, you know what? Let's carry on. We'll do the best that we can, and I'll try to figure out what it is later, rather than have you guys sit here while I fiddle with settings and try all kinds of different things. Norm Gilbert, yeah, it's the heavy breathing. Yeah. So hello to all of you that have joined us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending part of your evening with us. Don't forget, please, to like, share, and subscribe. I'm about 50 away from reaching 4,500. I think I can do it. Okay, come on. You guys that are here from Gary's channel and David's channel, pity an old lady. It would make
a little early Christmas gift from Marina. Just a quick set.
There you go. Yeah. So, and I do have David and Gary's information down in the description of the video. So make sure that you go over and give them a like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. So, Gary and I were talking backstage, and I said, I think what I'd like to do for a good portion of the show is to see if we can talk about Canadian politics, because we've got some very interesting things happening. We had yesterday.
Doug Ford's kind of my short-term hero. I have friends in the Niagara Falls area who like Doug Ford a lot, or maybe I don't know if it was both Fords, but one of them they liked a lot. And he's got just enough ass to treat Trump the way Trump needs to be treated.
Yes.
And I appreciate that, because it's like, no, I'm not going to start. You're not going to trample all over us. I will turn it back to you so you can explain what it is that I'm not saying.
Doug Ford is the premier of Ontario. It is our biggest province. And you know it when if you ever drive across Canada, it's like you go, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Ontario, 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 and it feels like you're there for ages. So yes, he is rather outspoken, and Ontario provides an awful lot of electricity and natural gas to parts of the eastern U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm going to look after the people of Ontario, and I'm going to look after Canadians. And if it means that I shut off the electricity, I shut off the electricity. You want to talk tariffs, you want to talk about, you can do this, you can do that. Well, there's things that we can do too.
Yeah.
Right. So, your call. How do you want to play this? We can match the energy. Where do you want to go with it? Right.
It's funny because I'm sure Doug Ford can be a bully in his own right.
Oh, yes.
But it's at the same time, because he can be a bully and he can set a boundary, it's like, oh, that's how we're going to play this. Okay, we can play it this way. Can Canada, can Ontario or Canada bring down the United States and economically? No, but they could piss off a bunch of voters in the northeastern states that are going to look to Trump and say, what the hell, man? Because maybe their gas bill or their electricity bill triples or doubles. They're not going to be real happy about that.
No. And you know what? I think that they provide electricity, if I remember correctly, it was like to 1.5 million homes, and probably equally as many who rely on the natural gas. So imagine it's January, it's February, it's still a little cool.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you have no electricity. Hey, sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
So, there is something that Canada can do. Alberta can say, no, we're not sending any more oil down. And, I heard a good number of places in the U.S. to say, well, that's all right. We can get that. We can refine that oil from anybody else. No, you can't, because those refineries were built specifically to handle Alberta oil.
Right.
So it's not a case of, well, never mind this one. We'll just do. No, you can't do that.
Not all oil is created equally.
Yes.
The type of oil you get in the U.S. is different than the type of oil you get in Canada. And U.S. refineries are already pretty much at capacity, which is also the whole thing where Trump's like, we're going to drill. It's like, we're already producing more oil than we ever have historically. It's not like you can just open up 33% more wells. It takes time. And even if you did, you don't have the refining capacity to address it, because they're pretty much running at capacity now. So it's just, but you know what? His followers, they don't even go to there's a saying, playing the tape all the way through.
Yes.
Taking the first statement and then taking it to its logical conclusion. They can't get past the first statement. It just sounds good to them. Yep. Gas is going to be $1 a gallon again. I'm all for it. Yep. And without an iota of understanding of why that can't happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yes, Maureen D'Amico, basically Canada is saying FAFO. Yeah. Which, really, I mean, as a Canadian, we don't like to do that. We like to play nice.
Exactly.
But I think don't push us. Don't push us when Trump called Justin Trudeau the governor of the great state of Canada. Oh, let me tell you, there's a lot of people up here who said, He said, what? And like,
And it's not, and I'm sure it's not just the liberals too. If you want to unite Canada, that's a great way to do it.
yes, it is.
Even the folks that don't like Trudeau can at least say, we are not a state of the United States.
Yeah, totally. So, it's kind of it's interesting the way that he is treating Canada, and I think to some extent he's doing it to Trudeau because he knows that Trudeau may fight a little. Trudeau's going to talk a good game, but I'm not exactly sure that Trudeau would absolutely do what needs to be done. So although um, I am not a conservative by nature, but I would stand behind Doug Ford, and I would say yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, do what you have to. Now, Danielle Smith is the premier of the great province of Alberta, and she is a Trumper all the way. She is very, very much into anything and everything Trump, and has taken the province and um, really has done her own bit of damage. So, yeah, she's not one of my favorite people. But anyway, someone was saying, how long has Justin been Prime Minister of Canada? This is his third term. It's been about 10 years. And I think it's time for him to go. I think it's time for him to go. Now, the interesting thing is, and the reason that I kind of wanted to read on Canadian politics tonight was Chrystia Freeland, who is or was Trudeau's finance minister. She was also the deputy prime minister, meaning if anything happened to Trudeau, she would take over. She resigned yesterday, very publicly resigned. She posted her resignation letter on X. And I just want to draw your attention to just a couple things that she put in that resignation letter, and I thought they were very, very interesting. Um, yeah, she said, upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path for me is to resign from the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the prime minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made it clear that I no longer credibly enjoy that confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. Because he wanted to move her from being the finance minister into a lower position because she disagreed with him on Trump tariffs and how to handle it and so on and so forth. So she says, yeah, our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. We need to take that threat extremely seriously. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today so that we have the reserve we may need for a coming tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, which we can ill afford and which make Canadians doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach. They know when we are working for them, and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end. But how we deal with the threat our country currently faces will define us as a generation and perhaps longer. Canada will win if we are strong, smart, and united. Yeah, she goes on. There's a few other little things that she says in here and whatnot, but I think her the point basically that she made was, okay, you want to F around and find out? Well, all right. Up until now, there really hasn't been anyone in the Liberal Party who has been seen as someone who would stand up to Trudeau. I think yesterday she stood up.
Right.
So I think that maybe the first thing I'd like to read on is Chrystia Freeland. She said she is, she's still going to run for re-election, but I think, is she going after the leadership of the Liberal Party?
And she's the former finance minister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting. I can't share these cards with you.
Why not?
This is too interesting.
This is way too interesting. Wow, these wands. I got the 2, 3, 4, 7.
Wow.
And the 5. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Oh, she's not intending on going out quietly.
No.
No. Can I bring you on down? Okay,
Yes,
so
yeah.
ask you about. Okay, so this is the 4 of Wands. This is the wedding card. This is bringing people in or kicking them out, crossed with the 3 of Wands, waiting for the next opportunity to come in. I think, she was included in this, but now she's feeling excluded. So now she's, basically 3 of Wands. You're a step down. You're outside looking in. And it's like, oh, that's how it's going to be. Underneath it all is the 5 of Wands. Then let me bring in some chaos. If that's how it's going to be, then fine. I can hit the beehive. I can hit the hornet's nest just as well as anybody else. In the past, Page of Pentacles. Here's your finance minister. How old is she? Is she a youngish woman as opposed to older, or?
Yes, she is. I'd say she's probably maybe in her late 40s, early 50s, if that. If that.
Roughly his age. Maybe a little bit younger, but roughly his age. Coming in, doing the finance stuff. Currently, though, something happened that made things really toxic. Either they have a moral disagreement on something, but something really toxic just happened, which probably caused this falling out. Now she's, overarching. Maybe this was a plan all along that Trudeau was tired of her, wanted to replace her with somebody else. But there's this overarching energy that this was planned. Lesson to be learned is the 7 of Wands. She could go quietly or she can go fighting. She appears to be going fighting. This might lead to a short-term decrease in her popularity or her influence because she's choosing to fight, but it is a choice. And this could also be a decrease in Trudeau's popularity because it's not a unified message. You don't have a unified cabinet in there, and a house divided is easier to attack because she's going to open up things for that. So that's kind of what I see going on with her.
Yeah, I think so. What you got, Gary?
Okay, so what I've got here is I got the Hermit, so she's finding her path forward. The main clarifier is the Ace of Swords because she has told her truth. And the other clarifiers are the 2 of Cups. So, making agreements. David has historically looked at this as Trump kind of overlooking, kind of in the background. But so making agreements, keeping Trump in mind, keeping a lid on her emotions for right now. Although her exit letter was anything other than keeping her lid on her.
And I would read it as that, as opposed to keeping her emotions in. She shared them.
Yeah. in this case, reverse it. She decided maybe now is not the time to keep my emotions in, and underneath it is because she sees the danger that Trump is, and she feels that her path forward is the truth about Trump. So, is she planning on something? I would wholeheartedly think yes.
Yeah, I agree. She is one of I believe it's 5 or 6 different ministers who have resigned recently from the Trudeau cabinet.
Hmm.
So it's not like, she is just almost like the cherry on top because the others have them going. And like I said, there really hasn't been anyone um, who has been a viable alternative to Justin Trudeau. So what I got for her was the sun. I start off with the sun. Things um, I think she stood her ground with him. And yes, there was several incidences over the last month or so where they kind of butted heads over finances. He wanted certain things in the budget that she did not. That she said, okay, stop spending the money on stupid things. We can't do that anymore. And he was having a bit of a temper tantrum. So, okay, what do I have here? Yeah, I got the Knight of Wands is he really, he really does believe that he has the way forward. And I think he's been in power um, long enough that it's almost like you're going to do it my way or the highway, right? And if you don't do things the way that I want you to do them, I'm going to replace you. So her resignation was apparently a surprise to him. I think she's looking at, excuse me, the 10 of Cups. She's looking at what is going to be in Canada's best interest, not in the political shenanigans and whatnot. I think she's playing her cards right. I also have strength for her as well, in that strength and the Four of Pentacles, um, where she knows what she's doing next. I think that she may not have considered that this going for the leadership was something that she initially was thinking about and wanted to do, but she's at the point now that she's definitely seriously looking at it. She is considering it with the Chariot. She's saying, okay, you know what? Yeah, Mr. Prime Minister, who just very recently, within the last couple of days, said that, I am a feminist, and the U.S. has turned down an opportunity to vote a female into a leadership role twice now. Well, it doesn't happen up here, except it just did. So I think that he's going to have a fight on his hands. If she declares that she is going for the leadership, he is definitely going to have a fight on his hands. That's kind of what it feels like. And so with with that with that in mind, if she was to go for the leadership, does she have a chance of being elected as Canada's second female prime minister?
And she would be going for the Liberal Party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's the Paul Poilievre, the Conservatives. They're a little too mega for most of us. Now, there are provinces like Alberta who are determined. They are conservative. They always have been. They always want to be. And most of the people here will vote against their own self-interest because we vote conservative in Alberta. But yeah, does she have an opportunity? Dr. Freeland have an opportunity to become the second female prime minister? We had one. Her name was Kim Campbell, and it was she was a conservative and very, very short lived. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Anybody got cards down? Go for it.
Okay, I gotta jump in. I threw two spreads. One, will she go for the leadership? She's going to explore it. You have to look for the timing, but she's like a rising star in the party, and she will be successful in that exploration. I think she will become a leader of the Liberal Party.
Mhm.
Again, we have a set of swords underneath here. Um, it might, I want to say there's shenanigans going around that'll prevent it. Maybe it could be there's shenanigans that have to be overcome before she gets that. So it may not be right away. It may be something that takes a while because of timing. Asking if she will be prime minister, you got the Page of Pentacles. If she's got a message, it might be one of those ones, especially timing wise, if there's financial difficulties, because she's going to talk about her strengths managing finances. She can be a strong leader, and she can keep the economy under wraps. And if we throw another underlying card for this one, the Knight of Swords, it's somebody that could come. It's almost like if her time comes as prime minister, it's all going to come together very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's going to be it would have to be a window where the prime minister position is open, there's financial problems, and she can lean on her financial background to say, I can get us out of this, I can save us from this, give me that opportunity, I will get you there. But I think politically speaking, she has a bright future ahead of herself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. What you got, Gary?
All right. So what I've got foundation is the Five of Pentacles. So right now, either she is seeing how she is on the outside looking in, or how Canada is on the outside looking in. Whenever I get this Five of Pentacles, I'm thinking Trump and the American oligarchs trying to throw their weight around, and she sees how this is leaving Canada out in the cold. Right now, the main clarifier is the Wheel of Fortune. So is she going to become a strong candidate for prime minister or become prime minister? It hasn't been decided yet. It's an opportunity for her. The other clarifier. So she's right now she's looking down the path, looking at the future as to when her ship's going to come in. It's like Dave was mentioning. She's waiting for her timing of when it's right to move. She's got the knowledge. She's got the experience to move this forward. And underneath it, she's looking in the future. She's got her decisions in front of her, and she's just waiting for her opportunity to move forward. I don't think it's right now, but there is an opportunity for her.
Yeah. Yeah, and funny, I got the Knight of Wands again, in terms of yes, looking at it, looking at the idea, mulling it over, and thinking about what she's going to do. But then I also got the Ace of Cups, and this is, I always think of the Knight of Cups. Sorry, um, the um, the Knight of Cups to me is sometimes like that lounge lizard, that whatever you want to hear, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Just do things my way. I also though get the Four of Cups as well. I think that someone is going to present her, or at least approach her with an offer to say, listen, um, you're strong enough at this point that you might be able to do that. However, let's let's take a step back. Let's just review everything and see how things are going to go. And maybe, your time is coming, but perhaps not at this moment, right? Maybe there's other ways to work around that, because I also get the Empress, and I also get the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands to me is she knows what she wants. She knows how to get it. She knows what to say to get what she wants. And, you can either agree with her and do things her way, or do it the hard way. It's up to you. So I think yeah, David, you're right. She's thinking about it, but it is a matter of timing. I think that
Yeah.
there's someone is going to approach her and say, okay, listen, here's an opportunity, um, but maybe don't jump on it quite yet. Wait a little while. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but it certainly is interesting. Really, really interesting.
Is forgive my ignorance. Is it how difficult is it for another Liberal Party candidate to challenge a Liberal Party candidate who's already in office? So, like in the U.S. elections, boy, you stand very little chance against an incumbent if you're in the same political party.
Well, I don't. It's a little bit different because it's not like you're running for the PM against Trudeau. You're running for the leadership of the party.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
and in that way, it is a little different, because if there was to be a no confidence vote against Trudeau,
mhm.
then that is a clear message that, yeah, we don't think you can govern. We don't think you're the leader that needs to be the leader for the party.
Mm.
So that's when you call in that's when you have the um, leadership. I can't. The word that I'm looking for is has escaped me. But that's when, yeah, they call for a leadership review.
So it's a little more like the House of Representatives, where you got the Speaker of the House
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
majority party.
yeah.
Now, if there was a vote of no confidence on Justin Trudeau, because this just literally happened with Germany,
Yes.
does the Liberal Party, is there a snap election again to see which party wins, or is it that the Liberal Party, which I'm assuming the Liberal Party, along with other parties, they have that coalition that gives them the
Yes.
majority of the government, now needs to work with those other people to nominate and then approve their new leadership. And if they can't do that, then what do you have, like a caretaker government, or
No, then we would go to election, because
okay,
we are due for an election next year anyway.
right?
Um, but right now, and even for the last couple terms, Trudeau hasn't had a majority government. He's had a minority government. So
Yes.
he has been backed by the New Democratic Party, the third party in Canada, where the NDP and the Liberals have worked together to get things done. So if Jagmeet Singh, who is the leader of the NDP, if he was to say, no, I can no longer support you.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Conservatives. That would put Trudeau in a very difficult situation, because he doesn't have a majority government. So that would, I think, automatically initiate the election. Um,
And and I'm assuming the political workaround for that is the threat of, unless you step down, well, I'm taking my party and we're going over there. So you can step down and we're going to replace you. And then it's like, what would you rather have? Because
well, exactly. Yeah.
both are going to end up with you not being in power.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, pick your poison. What do you want?
Yeah.
So I think that Trudeau right now is in a very, very unstable position in that there's yeah, if things would be different if he had a majority government, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
And he didn't have it the last time either. So, he would have to make a whole lot of deals with a whole lot of people about who knows what in order to get their support if he was to get in for a fourth term. And I think people are tired.
yeah.
People
People like different things on the menu, and
yeah,
sometimes there's an art to understanding when you're on the decline and to get off when you're only starting to go down the decline, because you save your reputation for
yes,
something in the future when it's like, if it swings the other way, it's like, oh, it was better under Trudeau. You come riding back on your white horse and say, well,
exactly.
we've had 10 years of this type of government. You ready for the good old days? Because I'm still here.
Yes,
If
yeah,
he's interested in such things, and
yeah,
politicians often seem
yeah.
interested in such
Ex-
things.
yeah, exactly. And there really isn't much difference between the the liberals up here are like your Democrats,
Right.
and the conservatives are like your Republicans. Where the conservatives generally, when they're in power, they will spend, spend, spend. Um, they put the country in well, not in peril, but they certainly don't do any favors. They like the give the rich a break, and make the middle class pay for it, and so on. And then they make a mess, and the liberals get elected, and they fix the mess and keep things going until people say, okay, we've had enough of the liberals, let's give the conservatives a try.
Right.
And then it's just a repeating cycle, right? Rinse,
Same thing
repeat.
in the U.S.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
And
Um, and yeah, we unfortunately no, we don't have term limits up here. That you know, what you serve 2 terms and that's it. You're out. No, no,
did-
we've had prime ministers who have served a lot longer than that.
how long did his father serve as prime minister?
Um, I I think I believe he did about 12 years, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was about. I think he did. Um, I think he did 3 or 4 terms.
And
Um,
a question that Leanna said, too bad we can't have that here. Obama would still be in office. But you know what? If Obama was still in office, I'll bet you a lot of people in this country would be tired of it by now.
yeah,
Because one of the things that, Obama leaving when he did, he left at everything was going. He
uh,
came in when things were crap, and he left when things are great. And kind of the same thing with Clinton. He came in when things weren't doing so great. He left when things are great. So now you carry this wonderful reputation
yeah,
with you, and you're beloved. Uh, and for the same reason that Bush came in when everything was great, he left when everything was crap.
yeah,
Both of them, for
yes, yeah,
that matter.
yeah, yeah.
And same
So
thing with Trump. And yeah,
yeah, I know there was a lot of people that were not fans of his father, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Um, he did, however, do an awful lot for Canada as a whole. He really, really did, and a lot of people like to demonize him, especially um, here in Alberta, because of his part of his policy when oil prices were skyrocketing, and if whenever you make major decisions, it's always a flip of the coin, right? Because you never know 1000% what's going to happen. Had things gone the way that they were projected to go, everyone in Alberta would have a picture of Pierre Elliott Trudeau on their wall, and they would worship him as a god. Things, however, after he put the laws in effect, went the other way. And so now all of a sudden he is the Antichrist. When and people view it as something that he did to get back at Alberta. He didn't. That's not what it was.
So
You know,
it's so easy to be the victim, isn't it?
yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Katie and Proud. Thank you, Eileen. She says Laurie served the longest, 15 years.
In
Yeah,
Pierre for 11 years and a month.
there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, Justin is getting very, very close to that. So, yeah, I remember Pierre Elliott Trudeau as yeah, when because he was so hated in Alberta at one point, he took the train across the country. And when he got to Alberta and there was people lining up outside in protest, and he went, and it was like, did you see what he did? Yeah. And you've been doing this to him as well.
That's
So,
right.
who started it? Who started it? Okay. So one of the other things that Gary and I were talking about was how it doesn't, um, because we're not getting any news out of the US about what is happening, what could be happening, so on and so forth. It feels like nothing is being done. Um, the truth is that Biden really can't do anything until all the votes are in the possession of the federal government. Just because Trump stood up in 2020, the day after, and said, "Oh, it's been stolen, I want investigations," that's not the way things work. So, they, if I understand correctly, they were supposed to all the votes were supposed to be in the hands of the federal government today. Um, but then, Gary, you mentioned there was something where they have.
Yeah, so today the electors do their actual voting for the presidency, and then the states have until I believe it's December 25th to get to basically communicate that information over to the federal government. Whoever collects it. I don't know. I'll call it Congress, but I don't know the exact branch.
Yeah.
And David is now going to look it up.
No, I'm not.
Of course, of course. And yeah, so until that happens, until it's in the hands of the federal government at whatever point it is, there's not a whole lot that Joe can do. That doesn't mean that nothing is happening. And we were also saying too that when the information about what happened with the 2024 election comes out, it is going to be surprising um, for a lot of people. Um, for the information is going to need to be released by someone other than Joe Biden. Otherwise, like I said to Gary, he's going to appear like Trump 2.0. Oh, the election was stolen. It has to come from another agency, another country, another group of countries who can say not only who was involved, how they were involved, what they did. They will come with the receipts. They will come prepared to not just speculate on, well, we think this is what happened. No, it'll be, this is what happened. These are the players. This is what they did, so on and so forth. So I know you've done this before, but can we take a look at what does the energy feel like for Biden over the next week or so? Yeah. Yes, Amber. Yeah, Amber says one of the readers she's been watching, and she thinks it's Marianne. Yeah, it could be Marianne, who said that December 18th is an important date. Yeah.
I want to say that sounds right. I know that Rosie was when she was doing her dowsing one, she saw the 17th, and she did a video yesterday kind of updating that a little bit because
Yes.
she got some more information about what was going on today.
Yes.
And even Susan Lynn was kind of seeing some stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at how are things looking for Biden for the next week?
Yeah. Mm. Interesting. Interesting.
Do you want to lead off?
Okay. All right. So I start off with the Wheel of Fortune. Things are in the works. Things are being looked at, and well, let me tell you the rest of the cards, and then I'll tell you kind of the story that I got. So I've got the Wheel of Fortune. I've got the King of Swords. I have the Nine of Pentacles. I have the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. And what I'm getting is that, yeah, things are turning where Biden or someone like Biden, and it could be, it almost feels like maybe it's the female leader of another country that comes in with the information that is going to help Biden kind of explain what happened, how the election wasn't exactly the way that it was supposed to be, that there was a lot of things that were that people were kind of deluded into believing a certain thing that wasn't exactly true, and that the election was stolen. That's what I've got. And the bottom of the deck, again, I got the Queen of Swords. So I've got the King and Queen of Swords here.
That helped me with mine. I was just did a quick four-quarter how Biden's week was going to go, and I was getting the Six of Swords as the signifier card, and I was thinking, okay, with the Knight of Cups underneath it, so it's like getting out of troubled waters to calmer shores. It was making me think like, maybe he's not quite there yet. We have leadership and working together, and I was trying to put the Page of Pentacles, but what if information comes from overseas?
Yes.
And somebody's coming forward with this information from overseas. Now Biden can step back and be a leader and say, we need to take action on this. We're going to be collaborating with our NATO partners or our Five Eyes partners, our partners around the world to look into this. Because remember, again, the stolen election isn't just the United States. It's Romania. Yes. It's other countries that have had these problems as well.
Yes.
Okay. So I think this just basically underscores what you were saying. It looks like he's waiting for overseas help to come in and offer that information, and then he can lead actioning on that.
All right. So I had the Page of Pentacles as well, David. Only for me, this was like new information about the election is coming forth.
And I like you got the stolen part underneath it.
Yeah, exactly. But underneath is the stealing of the election. Biden feels like his hands are tied, but there's a feminine energy that has all the information and knowledge. to bring it forth. So he doesn't need to be the one to bring it forth. There's a female out there that's got this, or feminine energy out there that has this information, and it's all ready, and it's about the stealing of an election.
Someone mentioned, could the female be the president of Mexico?
Sure.
Angela Merkel has also, she's just come out with the book recently, and she's been getting a little more vocal. I think I wouldn't put it past Angela Merkel to come out with something. She can kill two birds with one stone, get rid of Trump and Putin at the same time.
Maybe it'd be a Melania because she doesn't want to go back to the White House.
Yes.
Yeah, this is how he did it.
Yeah.
I was about to make a reference to the Watergate leaker, but I don't think that would be an appropriate.
Oh gosh!
I don't want to use that nickname for her.
No. No.
I'm sure it's a talent that's been explored.
Oh, absolutely.
Given her past.
Yeah. And Leanne says, or perhaps a gay leader, maybe feminine energy. Could be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a female. It's just
no.
Yeah, it's the divine feminine intellect there.
Yeah.
And even the high priestess in some ways could be that knowledge is there.
Yeah.
Whether Biden already knows it or that knowledge is being shared amongst other groups, because it is also about knowledge and wisdom.
Yes. Now, the other thing that when the DNC just recently had their Christmas party and whatnot, and when Biden was talking about Kamala, he said, "You're not going anywhere, kid.
Yep.
You're not going anywhere." And isn't it interesting that he didn't, he didn't thank her for what she has done. There was nothing. There was nothing in his comments to her and about her that suggested anything other than don't go anywhere. Stand by.
I saw that same clip. Who put that? Somebody put that up there because I remember the commentary was something along those lines. It's like after hearing that clip and hearing the commentary, it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because the person went on to say that notice how they didn't say how she ran a good election or conceding or anything along those lines. It's we're not done with you yet.
Yes.
It's just another one of those breadcrumbs that they're dropping for us, that if you think that this election was stolen and they're going to do something about it, it's another clue, little innuendo, little minutia, that if you're paying attention, you hear it and it keeps you going. Is it false hope? Yeah, you really could be reading into it, but presidents and these people are really careful with their Trump isn't, but these folks are really careful with their words.
Yes.
And the fact that they keep dropping these crumbs here, that's not a coincidence. It just is. They've at one time, sure, why not? But it's consistent. And I guess AOC also put up something about pray for us for the next couple of days, which today being next 2 days, and today is day 2 of that. So the implication is something is about to drop, and pray for us that we have the courage to do it, and that this country can withstand whatever it is that they want to drop.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And Newsom too. He was, he did the same thing. We're just hold on. So that's kind of what makes me think that, there are things happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, and maybe we shouldn't know about, because the more people that know kind of what your plan is, the more opportunity there is for someone to throw a wrench in the works. And this is too important. This is too important for something like that. So, okay. Speaking of naval intelligence, could be anybody, the Pope.
Military intelligence?
Yeah, I know. Isn't
Great
that
oxymoron.
Yes. Yeah. Don't they ask JD Vance? We don't hear anything about him. He hasn't said anything. Where is he? Where is JD Vance?
It doesn't seem like Elon has a use for him.
Listen, Chris and I watched the UFC fight that happened. I think it was on November 18th or something. Anyway, and in the audience, of course, was Trump with his new lady love, Elonia.
Yeah, Alania, yes.
And he was there with Donald and Eric and Mike Johnson and Vivek Ramaswamy, who was, anytime that the camera was on, was running over to stand behind Elon Musk, like, am I in the frame? Am I, like, it was a circus. It was an absolute circus. But yeah, who is the vice president? Who is the vice president? Is it JD Vance or is it Elon Musk? Where is JD Vance? If you got cards, go ahead, toss them. Okay. Go ahead, Gary. You got something? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I got my trump card on the foundation. So where is JD Vance? Okay, so the foundation of the reading is the Four of Pentacles. That's my Trump's hogging the spotlight right now. Basically, I think they're telling him, sit back, let Trump hog the spotlight. You're going to get your opportunity, but it's going to be somewhere in the future. Because at some point, the world of Trump is going to come to an end. We've got our agreements on that you're going to become president, and then the United States will be one big happy family under the Heritage Foundation's favorite candidate. So I think right now he's been sidelined and told to wait.
Yeah. What do you got, David?
I was asking a little bit different questions, like what's Elon Musk's role in this government? And I've got the Six of Swords with the Hermit underneath it. And I'm pondering it, for those wondering about the quizzical look on my face, I was pondering what this is. And the best I can come up with is Elon's kind of like the ferryman. He's driving the boat for the woman and child in here. And while the woman and child need to be brought across the way, he's doing all the work in the government. And there's this vibe underneath here. He's overstepping. He's out of his lane. He thinks he gets to call who's going to be in what position and gets the final say on this. But I also think that these cards are how Trump and Vance are looking at Elon. Like, your job was to get us to victory lane, and you did that, but you're the one. It would be like the crew chief of a race car team up there shaking the champagne, spraying everybody, holding the trophy up, and the driver's like, "What? No, this is my victory, or the owner of the team.
Yeah, there you go.
The owner of the team doing that, and then you've got the driver and the crew chief like, okay, Mr. Hendrick, I'm glad you're really excited that we won, but this is our victory. We know that you helped finance it. There's just this real weird vibe going on between them, and I think it's because Elon's out of his lane, and he thinks he's the one leading the way and calling the shots. He's basically acting like he's the prime minister of the United States, to go back to the earlier conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where
yeah,
because you don't have a president, do you? No, it's not like France. France has a president and then it has a prime minister. And Elon's is acting like he's the prime minister of the country, like he's calling the shots.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he paid for it, so I can see where he thinks, hey, I bought this.
Yep, so exactly. It's like that autistic 6-year-old in him that doesn't understand that his behavior is telling on him. It's like, this isn't your celebration. Go back in your lane. And he's acting like, what are you talking about? I'm in charge now.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
And that's not a blame on autistic children anywhere. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's unaware.
I start off with the 5 of Swords, whatever it takes. And this was as I was asking, okay, where is JD Vance right now? I'll do whatever it takes to win this. Okay. 2 of Wands. This was I put a lot of things on the line to get to where I am. I had to deal with a lot of people telling me what to do to get to where I am. And now all of a sudden I find myself out in the cold. I got the 9 of Swords. I'm worried, as did I. Maybe I should have said something sooner. Maybe I'm in the position now that he feels like he is being pushed out. The 5 of Cups, like they're he did all the speaking, he did all the ass kissing, for lack of a better word, to get there, and now someone is kind of trying to usurp him and take that away from him. I also get the Page of Wands. He is trying very, very hard to come up with some ways to make himself relevant, but it could very well be that he's making deals with the people who put him in there, like the what's his name, Thiel or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's being told to just mind your P's and Q's until we get when the dust settles. But it almost feels like it feels like he's been set up, and I'm wondering, and I've heard a few people mention this, that they've wondered out loud, is it possible that Vance is the mole? Is it possible that Vance went in with an idea of what he was going to do, and then in the end kind of seeing everything go sideways? Does he have that kind of personality? They would say, really? Yeah, you're going to toss me out? Watch what I do next. I'm going to teach all of you a big lesson. Who knows? All righty, you guys, what have you got anything going on that you wanted to highlight before we end this?
I don't know. We were talking about maybe doing a live this weekend, but we're going to kind of see what happened on the 20th.
Yeah, pretty much. If Biden and the Democrats pop a, hey, this election looks like it was stolen moment, we'll probably go live to answer questions as to what's happening next. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I'm okay just doing a live because it's kind of fun.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw your last one. It was an awful lot of fun. There was a lot of good conversation and things going back and forth. So the big thing that I've got coming up besides regular shows, and you can certainly go on my community tab and check out the shows that I've got coming up. But on Saturday the 21st at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is we're doing our second Shine the Light event.
Oh, nice.
And so I hope that a lot of you will be able to join us. Spread the word. Okay, this is the concept of the whole thing is that at 7 p.m. in each one of the time zones, we'll set the intention that we want to send out love, light, compassion, and unity anywhere in the world and to anyone in the world that might need it. And we'll have different people on that are going to talk about different things, whether it's, astrology, whether it's, angel healing, Akashic healing, and so on. It is not a political talk show. It is not a show where we're going to be, doing readings for everyone. It is strictly geared to sending out that good vibration. The more that we have, the more light that we can send out into the world, the more that we raise everyone's vibration.
Right
So,
on.
yeah, please, please come and join us for that. So,
And speaking of raising vibrations, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and then race over to Marina's Heart Center Tarot page. Give her a subscribe so she can eclipse the 4,500 subscription barrier. Break that glass ceiling for her.
That's
yes,
right.
thank you. It would be lovely to absolutely that. I've been going, up 10 subscribers, down 10 subscribers. And
Oh,
I'm thinking like, what is going on? Like, anyway. So yeah. Once I make it over that threshold, then I'm looking at 5,000 and yeah, can absolutely. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you, Gary and David, for doing this with me. I love it. I look forward to these shows. So you all take care, and we will catch you next time.
Thank
Bye
you,
for
everyone.
bye.